Paul Skenes, that doesn't hurt to be able to cover him. That's been super exciting to say the least. Just tossed a scoreless inning last night at the All-Star game. So definitely a lot of hype around him. And I got to say, with all the hype around him, he is the most humble guy. I mean, when we talk to him in the locker room for post game after he pitches, he's the only guy. And this is hockey guys are great. And this is for hockey and baseball, any team I've covered. He comes up to our whole group of media and just, I really want to thank you guys for your time. Thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow. And I mean, that doesn't happen, like usually they'll thank you after the interview. He'll walk all the way over just to thank us for the time. And so that just speaks to the type of guy that Paul Skenes is.
Yeah, I was going to ask about Paul Skenes. First off, you haven't met Olivia Dunn yet, right? Livy Dunn, haven't come across her yet?
Not her yet. Hannah Mears, who's our full-time reporter, because I do a little hosting and reporting, she has met her and interviewed her, and I believe it was his debut night. But no, I have not met her yet, so look forward to that.
Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been great for the game of baseball for sure. I mean, Paul Skenes and watching what he's been able to do. I mean, it's unheard of that a guy comes in and just dominates and then starts the All-Star game after 11 major league starts. It's wild. But in terms of like how you guys have covered him, I mean, is it when he's on the mound, obviously that's the big story. But do you sort of like try to incorporate Paul Skenes coverage into everything you do, or if he's not pitching, you sort of leave it alone just so it's not overkill? How do you handle that from a content perspective?
Yeah, well, lately with the All-Star announcement, we've done a lot of Skenes stuff. I mean, the first half hour of our pregame show that day was all Skenes, and he, of course, wasn't pitching a few days ago. But I would say, no, we usually leave it alone the days that he's not pitching. We cover him a lot, probably I would say the 3 days around when he's going to be our starting pitcher. Other than that, we give the other guys the attention, as they deserve as well. But no, I mean, the broadcasts are always certainly very jam-packed when we're talking Skenes, because he just keeps breaking every franchise record, every milestone. I mean, it's crazy that after he was drafted first overall, 10 months later, he makes his debut, All-Star game. Now he's the starting pitcher. I mean, this was all, I think we said, in 368 days since he was drafted first overall. So certainly been more than enough to talk about.
Do you feel the buzz around the ballpark, Pittsburgh? Is it palpable? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure someone just said that every game has pretty much been sold out when the Pirates fans find out that he's the starting pitcher. If you go walk throughout the city and they have all of the shirts and things they're selling, pretty much the only jersey you can find right now says Skenes or t-shirts on the back of it. I mean, the buzz is huge. And I think my parents actually, they're visiting to come to their first game at PNC Park next week. And I was doing the math, and it will be 6 days after he just pitched yesterday in the All-Star game. So I was telling my dad, hey, you guys might get really lucky with these tickets. You might get to see Paul Skenes pitch. And so he was pretty excited about that too. But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, he's so young and he handles himself like he's a veteran. He's been out here forever.
Yeah, he's got a great demeanor about him, and he throws a hundo, so that's pretty impressive as well. But you mentioned PNC Park, man. Like I haven't gotten there yet. I was able to see, like, when I was in Pittsburgh with the Bruins, I could see PNC Park from my hotel window. I hear nothing but great things about it. Just an absolute beautiful park. You agree?
So beautiful. Yeah, I guess it's been named top 5 almost every year in terms of beauty. I forget the last year it was named first. I actually think it might have been last season. But yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, especially if you sit actually higher up in the stands, which are usually the cheaper tickets, you get to see the whole river behind the stadium. And a lot of fans have told me they just come there because they love the scenery. And it's beautiful to be outside there. And even if you don't like baseball, it's just a beautiful place to be. So yeah, definitely love being there. It doesn't hurt to have a nice view when you're working.
So what are the other aspects of the job, aside from getting to know the players, the teams, working with the analysts, travel, fans?
Yeah.
Right? And social media and interacting with fans on social media and in person, right? Because when you are home naturally in the rink, you see all these fans. They're like, hey, what's going on? What's happening? And and even on the road, it's even more sort of personal, because you obviously, when you're on the road, you don't have as many, in your case, Penguins fans. I don't have as many Bruins fans, even though they're both teams have pretty good showings on the road. But how has your experience with the Pittsburgh fan base been so far?
Oh, they're so supportive. It's been the best. I think they appreciate that I grew up a Penguins fan as well, since I'm not actually from Pittsburgh. But no, it's been great. And when we're at the desk, as I'm sure for you, when you're getting ready to host a show, they all come up and they say hello, and you get people coming up on a regular basis, so you get to know these fans and you build a relationship with them, and just kind of adds to the family aspect that I was talking about earlier in the show. So no, it's great, and it's so fun to see how into these games some of the fans get, because I'm into the games, but then you meet some of these super fans and they're so into it. And maybe on a day you're a little bit tired from working so much, they bring your energy up. And so it reminds you that what you're doing is important to them, and it's great to feel like you're making an impact for them. And they're always complimenting us on, you're doing a great job on the broadcasts. I'm sure for you too. So no, it's been really cool to see, and it doesn't hurt to have Sidney Crosby on your team. I mean, you can't
Yeah.
that he gives the fans as well. So, which we'll have to talk about that another time. Covering Sidney Crosby, that's a whole other experience. He's got his routine, and it's been fun to watch him.
Yeah, we'll definitely have you on the pod later on. Maybe we'll have Jemai and Sophia when they're not like lounging about in the sunshine, probably. No, but they're. Have you met? By the way, have you met Soph or Jemai yet? Have you gotten a chance to meet them?
No, I've been wanting to meet her, and when we actually came up for a game, it was a national game, and so we covered all the national broadcasts. I know you guys didn't, but the Penguins did,
Right.
and I think she was sick at the time, so she wasn't at the game. So I just missed her, but look forward to meeting her next time we come to Boston, because she's mostly hosting, right? So I'd have to go up there.
Yeah, yeah, she's got her spot on the fifth floor. But Jemai, you probably wouldn't have a chance to meet because do you travel with Pittsburgh? Did you say the Pirates rather? Did you travel with Pirates or a little bit?
Yeah, so Pirates, I actually only had one road trip. I mostly host in
Okay.
studio, but I'm the main inside reporter for the Penguins, so I travel with them everywhere.
Yeah,
Yep.
that I knew. I meant with the Pirates. I didn't think you did as much
Yeah,
traveling,
not
mostly
so much.
studio. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha. But in terms of the fan bases, like I look at Pittsburgh and Boston as pretty similar. In terms of their passion for their teams,
yeah,
which
for sure.
which is yeah, right. Like I mean, you must have experienced that sort of passion, and that with that
Yeah.
passion can come like some negativity, right? When the team's not playing well, and sometimes it's directed at the network or it's directed at you personally. How do you handle that?
Yeah, I mean, you just kind of got to remind yourself that you're going to have fans like that, and that it's not you. But we certainly dealt with that on Twitter when we went through our fair share of losing streaks this season.
Yeah,
Suddenly, the tweets started to be a lot more positive when we won however many 12 of the last 14 games or whatever it was. We went on a huge run. So that was nice. But and that's hard, right, when the team's not doing well. Because at one point in the season, we actually thought we got back from a trip in Canada, Vancouver, and we lost pretty much every game out there on the road trip. I think it was it was all four that we lost. And so that's even interviewing some of the guys, the players who I'm friends with. They weren't even that great with the interviews because they all thought that they had missed their shot in the playoffs, which of course they end up making a run. But, just the whole
right.
atmosphere when you're losing is never the best. And the fans certainly weigh their opinion in during that. So we do our best to kind of ignore it. And I tweet back and respond anything positive I can.